WWE Friday Night SmackDown has officially become a 3-hour show, and I think this change is terrible. First off, I just want to say that I think Raw being 3 hours isn't that bad. I will always prefer a 2-hour weekly wrestling show, but Raw has the talent to support a 3-hour show. All of the main wrestlers and the main storylines you want to see are going to be happening on Raw on Netflix. Raw is becoming the definitive #1 brand. This is because they really want to push this Netflix deal as hard as they can, and so that's why they're moving all of the most popular superstars to Netflix. Like, SmackDown's still gonna have some big stars, but it's not gonna be anywhere near Raw. So with SmackDown being the clear #2, why does it need a 3rd hour? The main argument I see being used online in favor of a 3-hour SmackDown is using underutilized talent. But if you watch the first ever 3-hour SmackDown on Friday, you could see that, yes, like a tiny bit of that maybe to put one extra match on the show, but then the rest of it's being spent on giving other matches more time. And you may say, why would that be a bad thing? Matches getting more time? It's because they're getting way too much time. So you know how WWE now has the wrestlers cut a promo backstage before they come out for their entrance? Well, that happened 40 minutes before the show ended, before the Bloodlines match, and the rest of the show is the Bloodline match. So the last 40 minutes of the show is fully reserved for that Bloodline match. The Bloodline, who we always see on TV, we're going to see on Raw Monday. We've seen on Raw for a couple weeks. We see on basically every show now. They took up basically the majority of that final 3rd hour. It's just going to lead to more dragged out and drawn out matches because WWE simply doesn't have the roster depth to support 2 3-hour shows. I mean, technically they do, that's why they're doing it, but I'm meaning enough depth to support 2 3-hour shows that flow well. One show being 3 hours is fine because Raw is definitively the #1 show. SmackDown is definitively the B show. Why would I sit down for 3 hours on a Friday for ridiculously long Bloodline segments and then 3 different Pretty Deadly segments backstage? No disrespect to Pretty Deadly, but they do not need that much screen time. And you could have fit them very well on a 2-hour show if you simply managed the time better. The only reason WWE has been having these time constraints with 2 hours is because 45 minutes of the show is damn commercials. And then the time we're on TV, the beginning of the show, let's watch superstars walking in with their luggage. Because it's cinema, in quotes. It's a cool kind of touch to the production to have the superstars walk in and showing them walking into the arena and the promos backstage, but it wears off its coolness over time. It's not cool every single week to have all of this filler content. Who cares to see them walk in with their luggage? It's okay for the premium live events, but why do I need to see it every single SmackDown? It's just unnecessary fluff, which is just there to pad the runtime to 3 hours so they can get more advertising dollars. I get this change from a business perspective. It makes so much more sense. Even if you lose a few 100,000 viewers, which is extreme, I know, you're going to get more money overall because of the 3rd hour of those viewers. 3 hours sounds so amazing on paper, but in practice, it's just terrible because they aren't using the time to directly benefit the talent. They're actually doing it to just benefit the specific talent that we've already seen on TV by just allowing them to have more time. And so that means they're gonna have Cody Rhodes go into the ring and he's gonna give the crowds 2 minutes to chant. Just stuff that's so unnecessary for a weekly product. If this was a once a month thing, that's okay. But a weekly product with all of this filler? People's lives don't revolve around wrestling. And yes, I have a wrestling channel. This whole channel is dedicated to wrestling. I'm a huge wrestling fan, but I have other hobbies, man. I don't want to be spending 3 hours every Friday watching wrestling that I already watched 3 hours on Monday, and then some Saturdays I gotta watch 2, and that's not even including NXT. I like watching basketball, I like watching football, I like playing basketball, I like playing video games. I need time to edit these videos. Sometimes I go out on a Friday, hang out with my family. And you may just be thinking all this stuff that I'm saying right now is just dumb stuff, but it's just real life people have, and people aren't going to always make that much time and take that much time out of their lives to watch 6 hours of wrestling every week when it's not 6 hours of good wrestling. Only about 3 hours of that is actually going to be amazing stuff that the majority of people like. And this is probably going to lead to me simply just not watching SmackDown, which really sucks because I'm going to be missing some of the talent I really enjoy. People like Tiffany Stratton, Drew McIntyre may be there soon. Gunther may be going to SmackDown soon, but they're moving all the big guys to Raw with Cody, The Rock, Roman Reigns, John Cena. It would have kind of made sense. I still wouldn't have liked the switch, but if they did 3 hours like a while ago when the shows were on an even playing field, okay, but they're not now. Raw is definitively going to be getting all of the major stuff. Say like there's 5 big storylines in the WWE right now, 3 or 4 of those are going to be on Raw. And it just feels like an unnecessary switch. And I know there's people who may be in the comments or just watching this video who are excited about the 3-hour change, and I'm glad. I'm glad you are going to be able to enjoy the product more. I just think it takes away, because sometimes less is more. I'd rather be sitting at the end of the show wanting more wrestling than sitting at the end of the show being like, damn, so much of this show is just a waste of my time. I'd rather have spent half the show doing something else. Because you can throw on random matches during those 3 hours sometimes that people don't care about, but are you really going to have storylines or matches always between stars that people care about? I mean, no disrespect to the undercard of WWE, but the majority of people aren't going to care for Andrade and Blair Davenport taking up like 40 minutes of TV time every week. I like those talent. I like seeing them. But sometimes they don't need to be there all the time. I think talent going interchangeably in shows is much better. One week you could feature all your top stars, and then you could feature half those top stars the next week, but maybe let's just take Rhea Ripley off the show this week because we want to give time to someone else, and then she'll be right back there next week. The live audience can still see her in the dark match, and this leads to no overexposure. People will be more excited to tune in when their favorite star is on. Seeing the same people every single week because you need everyone on the shows because of 3 hours is going to take away from the overall product. It's going to make PLEs not feel as special because we see 30-minute matches every week. And most importantly, people's time is just not being valued here. People don't care to always see 40 backstage segments to show and people walking in with their luggage, because that's the majority of what this filler time is. It's not going all just towards underutilized talent. No. Get ready for longer bloodline segments, longer bloodline matches, longer backstage segments, and just unnecessary fluff. And most importantly, this is why they made the change, more commercials. Raw is going to have significantly less commercials than SmackDown, and I'm very excited for Raw being 3 hours. Because it's easy to handle that one time a week. It's just one night I gotta take out of my day. I don't have to take 2 nights every week. You gotta put this in perspective. If a human is up for about half the day, so they sleep half the day, which is 12 hours. But people don't sleep 12 hours. Say they sleep 8 hours a day, they're up for 16 hours. That's about a little less than a fifth of your time awake watching wrestling on 2 days of the week. And especially if you got work, it's just like your entire afternoon or evening that you're spending at home relaxing, it's gonna have to be spent watching wrestling on 2 of those days. I'd much rather spend my Fridays watching college football or the NBA. At least when it's 2 hours, I can watch SmackDown and then tune into the NBA game that's on at 10, like the Lakers. But basically, I know there's a lot of yapping, but what do you guys think? I know some people are gonna be all into this and enjoy the 3 hours, but some people aren't as much of a fanatic as that who can handle that much. A lot of people are probably just going to start moving to highlights. Even if you just love wrestling and you'll watch any wrestling that comes on, I just think 3 hours is overall going to water down the wrestling that we get. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to click the like button and hit the subscribe button. Comment down below what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
I wish I could have it my way. I don't really know who's to blame, but you said you were giving me space, then forever went away. Hey, at night in the garden I roam. Since the day you left, no flowers grow. My skin's gone purple from the cold, and I hate you, but I think I miss you more.